I can't say I have no complaints. I mean, this is kind of a big deal. Oh my God, there's fuel everywhere. Oh, there's fuel everywhere. Wow. Oh yeah.
That might be.
This looks like this is kind of like a pit mine right here. Wow. That's a big mine shaft.
It was a big mine shaft.
How the hell do we get in there?
Not hard. In here. I think you can feel the breeze, right?
Yeah, let's feel it.
Yeah, pick up. There are several vents.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today I am in an abandoned mine shaft, just doing a little exploration, but that's not what today's video is about. I actually need to fix my Vevor diesel heater, which has been pretty much running flawlessly, doing its job, heating up the van. I've probably put, 20, 25 tanks through it, but it does have a couple issues. So I do need to take it apart and see what's going on and see if it's something that I did when I replaced the fuel pump for a quieter one, or if it's a flaw in the materials used in the design of the diesel heater. So that's what today's video is going to be, a long-term review on the Vevor diesel heater. Let's get out of this mine and back to the van. Oh my God, that's heavy. All right, folks, we are back at the van, and this is the Vevor 5 kilowatt diesel heater that I've owned for over a year. It has pretty much run flawlessly, started no problem. It's heated up the van, just done its job. And for that, I am grateful. However, I have had an issue with the gas cap, and I've watched a lot of YouTube reviews and nobody has ever spoken about this issue. So everyone's just praised this diesel heater, and I don't know if it's because they haven't done long-term reviews on it, but the gas cap, the materials they're using for the rubber gasket is not really compatible with fuel, and it swells over time and then doesn't seal, and there's no way to get it to shrink down, as far as I know, and be put back in the cap. So I had to remove the rubber seal, and I attempted to make my own gasket out of fuel resistant RTV. That's one issue. Has anybody else had this issue with their diesel heaters? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your solution was. Then, as an extra measure there to prevent fuel spillage when it was full, I put this piece of plastic just from a Ziploc baggie in there, and I did punch a hole in it so that it could vent, because this does have a vent in there. Gas tanks need vents, else it creates a vacuum and then fuel can't get through. So that's one issue that I've been having. And then the other issue is that I'm having a fuel leak, and I can see it along the bottom here and then a little bit on the floor here. And I want to get this fixed because I don't want the floor to get damaged. And now that I'm actually at the gas cap, I can see that it's wet around here at the tank neck, which, by the way, the tank neck is also deformed. So again, here, let me bring you in close. This is all deformed here. I don't know what material they're using, but it's not the right material for fuel. Or maybe fuel in the US is different than fuel in China. I'm not sure, but you know, that's not great. And nobody else has spoken about having any of those issues. And then my makeshift RTV gasket isn't really working either. When you fully tighten this, it just kind of tears it and it's just starting to come out. I really don't want that to fall into the tank and clog up the whole system. So yeah, I don't know. I really need like a better solution. Yeah, see, it's just coming apart. It's not really staying in there. If anyone has a solution for this, I would really love to hear it in the comments. Maybe there's a different cap. Maybe there's a gasket that you know of that would work, but please let me know. I'm wondering if the leak has just been coming from that gas cap because it was a bit loose and there was a lot of fuel on the outside of it and around the top. That would be the best case scenario, but I need to verify that nothing inside here is leaking, so this cover has to come off. Oh my God, there's fuel everywhere. Oh, there's fuel everywhere. Wow, that is not great. All right, so now I can access all of the screws that are holding this cover on. So right now it has 0 gasket in it, which means when that fuel is sloshing all over the place over rough roads, it's going to be spilling out of the cap. Definitely not ideal. So I had first noticed the fuel leaking right down here along the edge. I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but that is fuel. And so I thought maybe it was leaking into this pan and then, you know, out here somehow, but I don't actually think that is the case. Everything's looking pretty dry. But the pickup for the fuel is right there, and there's no wetness there, so I think that, yeah, okay, so that's what's happening. So the fuel's coming out of the cap, running down along the sides here, and then over, and then there's a screw hole here, so the fuel's going to be traveling through those threads, and then getting into here on this channel, where there's a little bit of wetness. Yeah, there's some wetness there, but the fuel pickup here, that's the lowest point of the tank. So and it's dry there, so it's not leaking from there, I don't think. This is super thin sheet metal. It's very easy to strip these out. So if you ever have to take your cover off and put it back on, be very careful and don't over tighten these. All right, now I have to get this onto the exhaust pipe. That is hard to see in there. Oh, I'm very close. There it is. Okay. Line it up with the holes in the floor. All right, that is the last screw. So I'm pretty sure that fuel leakage was coming from the cap, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do about that now. I have absolutely no gasket in this, and I mean, I'll put, plastic over it whenever I travel, but that's not going to create a good seal. The fuel's probably going to slosh up here and then travel down these threads and back all over this place. So I really need a solution. I need a new cap. I'll do some Googling and see what I can find, but please, if any of you have any experience with this or know of maybe, a cap that would fit these diesel tank heaters, please let me know so I can get one and take care of this fuel leak. Other than the bad gasket causing a leak at the fuel cap, this diesel heater has been performing flawlessly. So I believe I paid like $140 or something for this, and I can't say I have no complaints. I mean, this is kind of a big deal, you don't want fuel sloshing around, fuel leaking, and Vevor clearly didn't use a fuel resistant rubber in this cap. If you're considering getting one of these diesel heaters from Vevor or any of the Chinese diesel heaters that are, not the super expensive kind like the Webasto's, keep this in mind because this could potentially be an issue. For now, I'm just going to throw some new plastic on it and put the cap on, snug it up. We'll see what happens until I come up with a solution. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, a like, comment. Please let me know any information you have on a new gas cap or a gasket that might work in these. And I'll see you all in the next video. Thanks.